You have offered us the greatest of gifts, freedom. With these divine tyrants gone, Telekora.
I'd thank the gods, but you seem to be taking them out at an alarming rate. Not that I'm complaining. In my experience, theocracy's never been great for entrepreneurs like me. Unless you're in the Holy Relics business. That's too single-minded. Too old. Good luck to you.
What is it? Watch yourself. Hello. Be careful.
dark ember remains nestled deep within the putrid flesh of my dead beast. With many of Highgate's tunnels now collapsed, we must forge another way inside. I have divined one weak point in the beast's flank, an ancient wound wrought by that Vaalish overreacher, Doriani. The wound was healed shut by a thick membrane, but the right decoction should dissolve the tissue and allow us inside. Of course, for a cordial of such potency, I shall require 2 ingredients of utmost rarity. First, our viscous concoction shall require basilisk acid, a princely poison which drips from the caustic heart of the basilisk, and Trathan powder, an explosive substance oft used in the mining of virtue gems. With these 2 bitter harvests, within the ruins of Highgate Refinery you shall find it. Trathan powder, a slightly more unstable blend to the kind found within the celebratory rockets and illuminations of Trathus. This devious mixture of crumbled chemistry was once used to blast holes through even the thickest mountainsides. It will ensure that our mixture has the brute force required, though one should tread carefully within the refinery, for General Adus and his elite legionnaires sought refuge there during the first moments of Malachi's cataclysm. Basilisk acid drips from the hearts of those venomous monsters, though I cannot blame them for their disposition. They are tragic creatures. Theirs is a sorry tale more closely tied to my own than I care to dwell upon. Alas, the fortune...
am Jun Ortoy, of the sun-scorched plains of Vestiri. I am investigating the disappearance of several prominent exiles. I have surreptitiously been observing your movements for some time. Scattered across the plains and mountains are small fortifications I believe to be Immortal Syndicate outposts. I'd not believe you if I had not witnessed the boats lurching onto the shores of Rayclast myself. So, the gods have returned, and Oriath has fallen. This complicates things, to say the least. Exile, I believe the Syndicate has been planning to form a new government. Salah, scattered across the plains and mountains are small fortifications I believe to be Immortal Syndicate outposts. Blessings.
You can gripe all you want, lover. We can't stay here. Not with all this blood.
Where do you expect us to go, Vanya? We have our whole lives here in Highgate.
I don't know. West, perhaps? The Ezomite lands. I don't care. Just somewhere that has unpoisoned water.
Oh, Beast Slayer.
Good to see you again.
Even if you have happened upon us in a rather unruly time.
Shush now, sweetie. There's no need to bother them with our woes.
Oh, they don't know. I can see on your face you haven't heard.
It's Kira. She's gone mad.
Absolutely bonkers.
She's abducted a Yun.
Stolen off with her into the desert. And to make matters worse...
The whole of Highgate is in a state of disarray. There's beast blood in the water.
usurpers are eyeing up the throne.
And the old gods have risen. If you want my advice, get out of Highgate.
Or save us.
While you still can.
You must have encountered men and women like us before.
Relic hunters.
Collectors of rare antiquities. Anyway, Vanya and I are the best in the business.
And we need your help locating a particularly rare item.
Sweet, I was working them into it.
It's an ancient sword belonging to the Maraketh goddess Garukan.
The Stormblade, some call it. A weapon carved from crystal, capable of capturing even the most powerful of storms within its rigid edge.
The goddess lost it, somewhere in the eastern desert.
Please, Vanya, don't say it.
Say what? I told you so? Well, I never trusted Kira. Her need to control everything, no matter the cost, was never a trait I held much faith in.
Yes, but ambition is not the problem. I have ambition. Do you not...
Of course, I trust you, sweetie, but you're not about to go killing everything that moves in exchange for a bit of power now, are you?
Well, I'd trade dreams of power for dreams of you, my sweets, any day.
Oh, Pataris.
Irasha? Well, she's the best we've got. Strong, purposeful, an honorable warrior.
I think the description you're failing to provide, love, is stick in the mud.
Stick in the mud?
Yes, as stubborn and serious as they come.
You just don't like her because she treats you differently.
Irasha is a stuck-up elitist. She refuses to see me as a woman.
Oh, sweets. You're more woman... I'll let Vanya take this one.
Thank you, love. I trained in Ori.
As a witch. Imagine that.
I thought I was telling this story, Pataris.
Yes, sorry, sweets.
I learned all about the old gods. They were supposed to be our idols, beings of divinity that guided us through our mortal lives.
But they aren't like that at all, are they, love?
Hardly. The gods know better than we are, and nobody that is as bad as us should ever wield that much power.
As bad as us? Speak for yourself. I'm positively delightful.
Yes, yes, you're so sweet they dipped you in a barrel of sugar as a babe.
You must be the outsider, the beast killer. I am Irasha, and while our soft-hearted chieftainess is gone wandering, it falls to me to make sure this Akara doesn't suffer for it. I've heard the stories they tell of you, and I know better than to pluck the feathers from a sleeping rock. Yet, for the sake of my people, I ask that you keep your peace while among us. Our customs have too often been threatened. Your ways are... Oyun is gone for but a few days, and already Tasuni sniffs at the throne like it's a bitch in heat, ruled by a man. You need only walk amongst the ruins of San to understand that folly. Well, his desires are but wanton lusts while Oyun still lives. One of my scouts saw Kira and her Dekara near the foothills. They had Oyun bound to the back.
Hello. Quite liked it here, you know? Right up until the bloody mountainside started bloody, well, leading. Thought for sure I was hallucinating. Till the others started screaming and...
Glad to see you.
What do you need?
Yes?
Hail.
The nightmares are but whispers now, yet like prophets, cowering within crevice and crack. My sister Kira has grown obsessed with the vulture of the wastes, our goddess Garukan. Kira has taken Oyun and plans to sacrifice her, imagining she can reforge herself as a Red Sakema, a warlord destined to unite the Marraketh under her bloody banner. My sister's betrayal is too great for forgiveness. Like a rabid dog wandering the mountain pass, she must be put down. I ask this of you, for you are familiar with such barbarism and will not feel the pangs of mercy that I would. On her. Yes, I know of that dark god perched atop your shoulder. His image comes forth in my mind's eye, and I hear the sound of his breath crackle against the coldness of our mountain air. He has a different energy to the other gods revealed in my dreams. Less hostile, more empathetic to the plight which humanity suffers. In the twisting, shifting black smoke of my dreaming, I saw the beast, lying slain at your feet. I saw the rise of the old gods, the rigid, dusty remains, springing in sudden haste to life. I saw the growing of their power. As the corruption began to fade, I felt utter anguish, the madness of the beast's last rapid breath. Yet my sight, my power still remains. Why ask me about her? That woman doesn't like me very much, and I can't say I'm particularly fond of her either. She seems to have gotten into her head somehow that I am the epitome of all evil, a selfish, blind villain. Nothing can be further from the truth, other than the blind. You've done yourself proud to me.
No matter where you come from or who you might be, we were all birthed by a mother. Our mothers protected us and gave us nourishment. It is our duty. Arrogant men always seek to control that which they should not, as if that dangling piece of meat between their legs is somehow meant to lead them to power and glory. Men don't have the mind for it. Two of a very few outsiders I've met worth a lick of salt. I'm not saying I think they should have as much sway in the Akara as they do, but the fact is, the people like them. My head is still reeling from what Kira has done to Oyun. That bitch looked at me day in and day out and proclaimed herself loyal unto death. She has shown her true face in the end. Once I thought the old gods were worthy of honor, and I would offer prayers up to the goddess of the breeze as a child, and listen to her voice sing and whisper as she danced through my family's wind chimes. She was my Through treacherous deeds and blind love, the Gemling Queen has taught us much. Her body remains here, surrounded by flowers, a reminder to all of us that we ought to tread lightly when my Dakara and I have vowed to protect our people, and so we keep. Though you showed a mighty bravery when you slew that horrendous beast, by the thoughtlessness of your actions you have caused great trouble to fall upon our home. The water runs red with toxic corrupted blood. Now our people must travel far.
Hurry, there are monsters about. Stay safe. Glad to see you.
I can't do this just yet. I can't do this just yet. Practice makes perfect.
Now, I'm no Clipe, but sometimes talking is better than, dying. So just give little old Guff a chance to jabber, and I guarantee that you will learn a thing or two. Now, I'm no Clipe, but sometimes talking is better than, dying. So just give little old Guff a chance to jabber. Ha ha! There it is, eh? That's the sense I was hoping for. Now, let's talk.
Exile. I've spent some time around powerful magical objects. There are some whose magical properties are obscured and tangled, trapped and restricted by a curse placed upon it. I cannot restore such...
You did it! They found it, Pataris! They found it!
By the gods! Garukhan's famed Stormblade.
Do you know what this means, my sweets? Once we find the right collector...
Oh, we can go anywhere. Have anything. We will be like royalty.
But the storm inside is a problem. It's too volatile in its current state.
You're right. We can't trade away a weapon of such apocalypse. Have you ever heard much of the Maraketh legends?
A truly unique cosmology of strange creatures, pagan gods, and powerful treasures.
One such story talks of a magical stone dial.
A Maraketh calendar, said to detail important events in the future of our world.
General Adis, a war hero of the Empire, reported in his diaries of discovering a dial meeting that description at a dig site somewhere in the foothills.
It appears the war hero had a secret penchant for archaeologies.
But the cataclysm wiped the land clean and buried the dig site in rocks and sand. No one has been able to locate it since, nor the stone dial.
Seems that with everything that's been going on of late, knowing what's due to happen in the future could be a fairly profitable ability.
We know you would never have use for such a gift.
It would remove all the A noble legionnaire.
But a legionnaire, all the same.
Pataris and I did our research on Adis.
We needed to know as much about him and his dig site as possible.
To make sure he was worth our while.
The general was an eternal commander of the Highgate Legion.
He ran a mining camp up here in the mountains. The bastard was the one responsible for controlling Karui, Maraketh, and Ezomite slaves, forcing them into the black bowels of rockfishers in search of gems.
At least he treated them fairly and as human beings.
A slave is still a slave, my sweets.
For all his faults, the general appears to have been a good man for his time. It's a shame what happened to him. An even greater shame that by the sounds of things, he's come back.
Yes, we...
Good luck.
Some of the members we have come across, well, they have come back from the dead. I don't have any better way of putting it. They are no mindless zombies. Somehow, they are returning, whole. This must be... Do I really need a reason? For what reason did you help the sick and dying in Lion Eye's watch? We do these things because no one else will. We do these things because the world has enough pain in it already. Would you have me sit idly by, watching the few good souls left on this wretched stretch of land fall into the shadows? Creation cannot occur without destruction, nor destruction without creation. Light and darkness, the two must coexist. One cannot... Exile. Warm nights.
Yes?
Yes?
Until next time.
In the Maraketh Desert, an oasis lies to the east. Its waters shielded from prying eyes by a preternatural storm. The sand will rip the very flesh from your bones, should you be so foolish as to enter into its dark shroud. Yet enter you must. The goddess Shakari hides within that golden blizzard, festering with revenge as she resurrects and rebuilds her ancient army. An army that once threatened to shake the very balance of these lands. Should she be allowed to revitalize her troops, the whole of Maraketh will finally fall under the cruelty of her selfish reign. A traveler on the winds, Garo-Khan pridefully plundered the sky for its secrets. To her mind, wisdom could be found in the eye of a hurricane. Please understand that Garo-Khan is not an evil being. She was once my friend and companion. Her beauty astonished me as her aspirations inspired me. Yet I must forgo my sentiments for the sake of humankind. Like winds erode the sandstone, I weep for my poor Garo-Khan. Together we experienced the loftiest moments that this world could offer. Alas, it was my heavy heart that she could no longer bear. I knew her pride would one day be the storm that would ravage my precious humanity. In truth, it was for Garo-Khan that I sowed the dark ember within the depths of Highgate. It is not something I deign to speak of often, but this goddess, this creature, she was once the flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. I rose into the clouds and fell into the arms of their queen, the beautiful Garo-Khan. Now, if you think that mortal marriages are difficult to navigate, try an immortal one. We parted ways. Yet not before my young Queen of the Sands was born into this world of filth and horror. Now you see how I must suffer for.
Well, it took some time, but thanks to our Maraketh neighbors
And their ancient traditions.
we managed a strain of thaumaturgy to remove the storm from Garo-Khan's blade.
We even bottled it for safekeeping.
We'd rather not trust anyone with this sort of power, but perhaps you can use it to clear away that sandstorm in the desert?
When I received my first flower of blood, I was given to the ritual of womanhood. All young Maraketh women have to dance with the scorpion to prove themselves worthy of carrying the Dakara's spear. It is no easy task to catch a black Maraketh scorpion. Their tails are swift, their sting is sharp, their poison lethal. I made my way through the trial unscathed, but my sister, we shared a womb. came into this world together. She left it, thrashing and foaming at the mouth.
This seems like a good area. Journey well. Curious. Journey well.
I can't do this just yet.
Daughter! Rest, my child. Be free from the torments of immortality. A mother's keen heart shall bleed into the dreams of her daughter. Once a beauty who held captive the hearts of men and women alike, Shikari's splendor decayed into lust for the power possessed by her skyborn mother. My daughter once sought out such power within the great sands of this desert. Ever determined, she found it, and it made of her the twisted creature you so mercifully dispatched. Driven by agony and shame, she built an army out here in these sweltering lands.
It's hard to be proud of this one. Your own daughter.
Exile, I fear I have not been entirely honest with you. This dusty pit was once the Forbidden Vault, and I its guardian. That you have not heard of it is not surprising. It was kept in absolute secrecy for countless generations, known only to my Akara. My Akara My people were long ago tasked with protecting the people of Wraeclast from themselves. Many artifacts of great power exist. You have come across some such. You have not heard of us because you were never meant to hear of us. I say us. In truth, it is just me left. We came from all walks of life, but we were all orphans, taken in and raised by the Order, and taught never... We were only taught what was passed down for generations. We believed the horns to be the ultimate tool of life and death, capable of siphoning the very breath of life from any living... Exile?
Yes. See ya. Anything you need, just ask.
Take care.
You killed Shikari. My sister's death has finally been avenged. Shikari was supposed to be our divine teacher, said to guide us into womanhood. All she ever gave was death. I suppose it's fitting that the teacher has learnt that mortal lesson for herself. Our whole lives, we have lived...
Greetings.
Exile.
There'll be time for that soon enough.
Salah. Salah.
Practice makes perfect.
Ah, our relic hunter returns.
You could make a regular go at this.
How about it, hero? Leave behind your warmongering ways and work for us.
No? Well, never mind. In any case...
Here's that reward we promised.
You have done well, but our concoction requires both acid and powder. Return to me when you have collected the second partner in our corrosive.
Yes?
Be careful.
Fear gnaws at the entrails of the faithful and the faithless alike. Must bear two blades, hope in the left hand, surety in the right.
By the time we're through, no one will be able to tell you you're in
I'll
the
help
with
you,
that.
Skip.
You're done, Ashley.
Cheated! Must have!
Go on, do it. You're no stranger to murder. Just make it quick.
Bye-bye. You kill so good, Exile. Quick and splatty. You want to be friends? Just for today? Hate the dark?
Exile. Exile. Blessings.
days of ancient Kev, when we kept mortals in their rightful place. Kill them.
Hello. The Ember is a seed, the black core of the beast's heart. It is the pure, undiluted essence of corruption. Everything my pet once was, all of its power, the stupefying effect it had on us gods, it all dwells within this dark ember. With this, we shall lay Kitava to waste. The once-starved god shall fill his gut and pass on into oblivion. Kitava will fall, and the ember shall disperse into nothing more than ash dancing across the cobbled rooftops of Oriath. The dark ember remains nestled deep within the putrid flesh of my dead beast. With many of Highgate's tunnels now collapsed, we must forge another way inside. Before us lies a weak point in the beast's flank. It is an ancient wound wrought by that Valish overreacher, Doriani. The wound was healed shut by a thick membrane, but the right decoction should dissolve the tissue and allow us inside. Of course, for a cordial of such potency, I shall require 2 ingredients of utmost rarity. First, our viscous... My love. You were too beautiful for this ugly world. I
believe in traveling light.
Next. It shames me to know the horrors wrought by our hands here and now. Guru Khan was complicated, but she was also stubborn, and never would have thought to change her ways. We have given her a sky burial. That is the best we can do. Even in the old times, she was vain beyond comparison. It was her ambition that corrupted her, despite...
Well, that's one way to end a marriage. I believe in traveling light.
Yes? Yes? Oyun was my friend. To depart this world in the manner she did is...
barbaric. And without a protector for the tribe, we're sitting ducks here. Tasuni thinks he can rule, but he's seduced by all manner of dark things.
There is no easy fix here. I'll be awake for many nights to come.
I'll be right beside you, my love.
Let's not fool ourselves, love. You'll be sleeping.
In any case, it'll be time to crown a new chieftainess soon.
Or chieftain. Tasuni is next in the bloodline. Sure, he doesn't mind breaking a few rules, but at least he's no Dominus.
I do hope you're joking, sweets. The Maraketh are a matriarchy. The men here aren't used to being in charge. Tasuni would ruin everything the mother stands for.
You would have them crown Irasha.
She's strong, stable, and traditional. I don't see why she shouldn't rule.
Because, ironically, Tasuni has the one thing that Irasha lacks.
What's that?
Vision. Be careful.
Yes.
Bye.
Yes? Irasha? Well, she's the best we've got. Strong, purposeful, an honorable warrior.
I think the description you're failing to provide, love, is stick in the mud.
Stick in the mud?
Yes, as stubborn and serious as they come.
You just don't... Until next time.
The shadows are lifting at last, hand in hand. You and I, we have guided my people towards a brighter future. I suppose you wonder why I do not mourn? For my sister, for Oyun. Why should I? There is no sense in shedding a tear for those who stand in the way of progress. They have passed from this coil, and that is the best thing either could have done for their people. With Apostakema removed from Asado, the way is clear. In lieu of a worthy leader. You've done yourself proud today.
Yes. Tasuni has the feather. Then Highgate is saved. It's about time they gave the men of the tribe a chance to prove themselves. Tasuni will usher in a new dawn for the Maraketh.
For all our sakes, I hope you're right, sweet. traditions.
Have you not got anything between those legs of yours, my dear? One would suppose that a man would like another man to rule more than he would a woman.
Well, one would suppose wrong then. Tasuni may benefit me simply because I was born of the same sort as he, but it's the future of this fascinating tribe that worries me. He's reckless and flippant of their sacred traditions. I fear, with him at the front of their Dakara, they will lose what makes them sacred. They will become like the bloody savages that wander the wastelands. Or worse, a blackguard.
Being a blackguard wasn't that bad, surely.
Never again.
See ya.
My poor Oyun. Tell me, exile, did she suffer? No, I don't desire to know. She was a good ruler, wise and benevolent. Our people will miss her, and I shall grieve her as if she were my own flesh and blood. But now, Tasuni, with feather in hand, moves to take Highgate for himself. His followers are as blind as he, and so must you be, for it's clear to my eyes that Tasuni desires but one wish, to rise up as a god. We've seen our old gods born anew from the sand, flesh and blood where once there was only song and story. Tasuni would turn his weak flesh and... When I was 12, 3 men came out of the Vastiri plains and set their eyes upon me. They asked me for water, but took much more. When the woman of Highgate finally caught them, I was given an opportunity to enact the execution myself, an offer I gladly took. Even at 12, I knew the price for betraying the Akara. Tasuni knew Oyun was to perish at the hands of that overreaching bitch, yet he did nothing to save her. As a child, my mother told me stories of the old gods, that they were to be feared and venerated, that they embodied the everlasting spirit of the Marraketh people. But this false queen, Garukan, she was nothing but a goddess of lies. By accepting Kira's slaughter of Oyun as a sacrifice of worth, the goddess has played her part in forsaking our most sacred tenet. Honor the mother, honor the life. The bones of our tribe mother have been ground into the dust by this divine insanity? The old gods can't follow.
Blessings.
Hello, hi. How are you? Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. What about you? I guess you're doing good. That was our answer, not a question. Awesome.
You die rather well.
Well, I guess yes, I'm trying to know how to play the game properly, but as you can see, I kill everything quickly, so not much to figure out. Maybe after the campaign and I start endgame, there's more things to get, but for now, yeah, I'm just smashing everything. Nothing much to do anymore, for now at least. Don't think I can finish the campaign today. There's only one more act for this one. But yeah, don't know if I can. If I want to keep playing more with this. I'm actually excited to play the end game. As you can see, nothing matters, at least in the campaign.
Oh, Trathus. How I miss your opium dens.
Yeah, you just started playing. Well, I guess that makes us both, you and me, new players. But yeah, I guess the game starts at the end game, so... At least that's what I've been told. Just follow a guide, build what the guide told you, so you can go through the campaign as fast as possible, I guess, and play the end game. Not the best way to play, I feel like, but that's pure it for you. And also I started playing Path of Exile just to try it out before the full release of Path of Exile 2, because I kinda want to play that game more. But yeah, I just wanted to try this one out first, and while waiting as well.
And so my mistakes are put to rest, and the mighty general has fallen. We honor them both with this brew. Here we stand, amidst the coagulating remnants of my creation. Funny, isn't it? Once I placed my beast on a pedestal as my pride and joy. Yet now I send you to breach the hull of my pet's fouling black core. I have brewed for us a potion from the remnants of our harvesting hunt. I shall apply this fermentation to the weakened membrane and meet you within the black core, where we shall further our agenda.
What class did you start with? If you would just start to play it.
Now that I have both ingredients, I shall brew us a nice cup of what we need. There has never been a substance more corrosive than this, apart from my dear Hello. Yes? Those souls we now harbor as individuals, they cannot hope to provide the onslaught of power that birthing our dark ember will require. But together each soul shall shift and change. They shall be knit into one creature, filled with animosity. Our unholy union will excite the beast, and bring forth our dark ember from its rotten womb. You should steel yourself, dear friend, for once the cork is plucked from the bottle, the whole world will change. It was never meant to transpire this way. My beast was born to be a thing of beauty, a crowning jewel to rest upon humanity's head. I wanted to give your kind a chance for peace, a chance to play atop the great stage, no longer pawns to a pantheon of petty, slavering gods. It was only ever defending itself. The fault lies within the twisted hearts of those who would betray their own humanity. not even I could anticipate the cataclysms my pet wrought on Rayclast. Both Val and Eternal, ruins in the pages of history, and the others trailing back across the eons. There is blood on my hands, Exile. The innocent blood of millions. And try as I might, the stains just won't wash off. Remember, humanity needs us.
Here I go again.
Something doesn't seem right. Yes, it would appear our old friend Malachi has one final trick to play. A thaumaturgical wound to the hearts of my precious beast. This complicates things, but not perhaps so much that there is nothing we can do. Exile, listen to me. I'm about to release the souls of our unholy trinity from their decanter. Their anger will exude more power than you have experienced ever before. You must defeat them one by one to fuse their remnants into something volatile enough to coax the dark ember from its womb. Ready yourself. The souls of these three continue to surprise us. Quickly now. The hearts have become doorways. Enter in, complete your mission, though I cannot say exactly what you will find on the other side. The souls of these three continue to surprise us. At last, our trio joins to become one foul spirit. Destroy that creature of darkness, and let us be rid of this place. At last, our trio joins.
Luck. That was the last time I'll have to sully myself with those three.
You're questioning me, the great sea mistress Lily Roth, about how she so happened to find you failing at drowning on some godforsaken fleshy piece of land. Thought it'd be obvious. Grandfather and I, we came to thank you for our little reunion here you started. Caught wind that you were playing around up here with that dead beast from the locals. So we followed your trail, dreading we'd be finding your body bits strewn all over this godforsaken mountain. But lo and behold, what do we get? Well, I suppose you'll be wanting us to ferry you over to Oriath. Take care of that nasty cannibal god Catawba once and for all. Well, we'd be glad to oblige. There'll be plenty of treasures in ruined Theopolis just sitting there for the taking, I'm sure. Say the words and we'll set the sails. Time.
I ain't gonna lie to you, friend. You look like actual shite. Like a real big steamy pile of goat droppings. What in the bloody hell happened to you since we last crossed compasses? Well, never fear. Your favourite Captain Old Rottooth is here to save the day. I guess I owes you a bit on account of bringing Lillian. I, as you can see, finally found a missing powder in my shot pouch. By that I mean my courage. Managed to make my way over to Lion Eyes Watch to see my granddaughter finally. Tell you, I don't know what in the blazes I was fretting about. She took to me like a fish to water. It was as if no time had passed at all. Anyhow, it'd be lucky for you that we did so.
Good tidings to you. Ready to go? Just in time as well. Grandad says there's a good thaumaturgical headwind blowing our way. Well, once more, you owe me for letting you sail around on me ship. But that's okay. I'm the kind of gal who can play the long game. Sometime in the future, I'll be in need of your services once more. You can pay me back then. All right, come on. You got a job to do. Lives to save, gods to kill. Better get to it. That Bannon's a real siren if you ask me. Even after the beating he's taken. Bulging muscles, pretty yellow hair. I'd be willing to bet the barrel of his piece is longer than a ship's mast as well, if you be understanding me drift. It's a shame, in all honesty, that he's one of them foolish holy men. Though even that ain't so bad. Lily Roth loves herself a challenge.
Not much I can say about that raving monster. While he still breathes, it fares ill for all of us. There ain't no amount of ocean we can put between us and him that Kitava won't see as simply an extra jug of wine in his cup.
Welcome ye to Oriath. Smell that fresh land lubber air. Ain't nothing like the air in Theopolis, full of debauchery and pollution, hidden neath the garb of them holy Templars. Seems the place has changed a fair bit since last I were here. A lot more. Say, you're not in the market for a new cutlass or anything, are you? Recently unlocked the Black Crest's old armory. Found a whole shite-load of weaponry down there from another time. Nah, there's a woman who can hold her own. Oh, hey, look at her! A marvelous specimen of the female persuasion. Reminds me of Meredith, me long-lost sweetheart. Oh, would it be that I could have a woman like that at my side once more? Lousy, good-for-nothing blackguard. In all me years at sea, never have I ever serviced a filthy blackguard on my lovely ship. If the Brine King still drew breath, I tell you, having this Bannon aboard would be an affront to the Lord of Sultan Scale. Him and his kind have hung, thrown and courted too many of ours. I don't rightly trust him. Me thinks Lily is fixing to have her way with that damn blackguard. Well, I tell you, not if I have anything to say about it. Look at me. Never thought I'd see the day when old Whalem were to be the...
The prodigal returns. Have you brought with you a weapon to free us? The ravenous one has only grown more hungry since you left us, and I fear your efforts may be too little, too late. Kitava has all but destroyed us here, and our poor departed Utula's cultists have taken hold of the city. There's little ground left to tread that won't cause the grasping claws of Hinekora to reach out and wring our pretty little necks. I see your eyes, exile. You wonder why I am here instead of at the Overseer's Tower. I'll tell you the horrible truth. The tower has fallen to the infernal devices of Kitava. That witch, Violenta, is to blame. She lowered a secret ladder and led Kitava's cultists right to our very beds. Bannon and I barely escaped with our lives. Together, we cut through the hordes, but it was no use. They had us surrounded. Bannon created a distraction which allowed me to flee. When I last saw him, he was perched atop the rooftops, holding off our enemies, though how long he will last, I cannot say. If you are going that way, perhaps you can find him. For freedom.
Let's
hail.
Need something?
Hail.
Greetings. Remember, we do this for freedom. Freedom comes to those... Yes?
It is good to see that you survived, my friend. But then, you have fared far worse. The froth of a violent ocean should be no problem for you. While we have been absent, Oriath has become a necropolis, a swarm of Kitava's wretched servants. The situation looks more dire than I had first anticipated. Before we make our move, we must know what we are dealing with. I send you, Exile, as a scout. As the only scout that would stand a chance moving through the shifting forms of this nightmare. You must discover where Kitava resides. Only then can we issue our final blow. Farewell.
This is an absolute disaster. I am Divinia, Adjunct Archivist of the Templar Order. I've returned to Oriath to perform some critical I've heard the people here talking about you. Now, if you're going into that madness, I have a favor to ask of you. Most of the Templar's secret archives have probably been looted or burned by now. But there's one trove only the Master Archivist and I knew about. It's hidden within my Order's ossuary. Now, if you can, please, go there and search for a particular tome. It's called the Mortonomicon, and supposedly contains everything the Templars know about immortality. The Mortonomicon Exitio Immortalis, as its lengthy name implies, is quite the difficult read. As a layer of extra security, it was written in the ancient language of the newcomers that were instrumental in the founding of our religion. Very few people can speak it, let alone read it. I'm deciphering the language at the same time that I'm translating and researching. It's mentally taxing to the extreme, but I have no choice but to soldier on. You can see him too. I thought I was hallucinating. Wait, you're working with him. Do you know who that is? It's all on fire. It's absolute madness. My heart aches for what they've done to my home, but I have a duty to perform, or else... I don't know her very well, but she seems very determined. I hope she survives. Have you seen their little black cat? I know Oriath is in chaos, but I can't help but feel my spirits lift when I see how cute and unafraid it is. Everything's gonna be all right. In all my research, and believe me, I've done more than most, I've still never been able to figure out who the newcomers truly were. They learned our language, but theirs has been mostly lost over thousands of years. It has a completely different grammatical structure, too, so translating it... I've heard the people here talking about you. Hello.
As I studied the prototypes, think it through.
What do you need?
Engineer reporting. We can account for all the variables. No deviating. We've been sighted.
No further!
Someone must do the fighting now. We've been sighted. Construction, deconstruction, all the same in the end. My turn.
Intruder!
Someone must do the fighting now. Let's throw a wrench in the works. They need not good. Not good at all.
Intruder!
Interesting time to come by. Someone must do the fighting now. Don't deviate too much.
Seize them!
Got it! Let's go! Ah, the fun part!
Failure!
Thrilling!
Hold the line!
Like clockwork. Don't let them touch me! Stop! Does this mean we're friends now?
Greetings.
We did it, Exile. At least in part. The designs for the Umbrella.
Hello.
My contract. How delightful. A shrewd man knows when to be... My contract. I've been in the Navy. Find something to... Good luck to you. Oh? Fair.
Greetings.
Kitava's rebirth has heralded countless tragedies, but there has been one shining light to come from it. The unshackling of my brothers and sisters. Freed Karui slaves were among the first survivors to reach the shores of Rayclast. Kitava's rebirth.
Hello.
Creative solutions on the fly. A strong plan is the best path to success.
No slacker.
Hey, you!
We've been sighted.
Seize them!
Construction, deconstruction. All the same in the end.
A worthy opponent!
Time to take it apart.
Trespassers!
Construction, deconstruction. It's all the same in the end. We've been sighted. My turn.
Stop them!
Oh my. Someone do the fighting now.
I command you! Who goes there?
Their strategy is incorrect.
Hey, you! I command you to stop!
Not good at all.
Who goes there?
This clock is on the verge of chiming. Someone must do the fighting now. That'll fund a few inventions. Time to flee!
Stop them!
Ah, the fun part! No time to waste. Poor Pat, bad craftsmanship.
Trespassers!
My contraptions worked perfectly.
Perfectly?
Decently.
Indeed.
Let's see what you've fished up. Love letters? Well, nearly everyone's had their hand in Piety's cookie jar, so to speak, so that won't do. But these... yes, these might work. Exile, have you already perused these papers? Perhaps of little consequence to a layperson like yourself, these papers are irrefutable proof that Darnor has been personally funding the activities of the Brine Rod Pirates. Toodles. Ahoy there! Toodles.
Greetings.
Right. What's the job? Come on, Gil. You got this. Easy as, easy as.
You're gonna regret this! You're gonna regret...
Good stuff. Should have ignored the noise, mate.
Dead or alive!
Stop right there.
You're gonna regret
Won't be a jiff.
Stop right there!
Stop! Oof. I'm gonna be sore tomorrow. Right, well, carry on, I guess. You're gonna be sorry. I'm gonna be sorry. On it, boss.
Oh, you're mine!
Stop right there!
We've got to keep it down. You're gonna be sorry. Then I'm gonna be sorry. Let's go!
Say goodbye!
You ain't gonna be shit.
Push him!
Out of the way! Should have just let us leave. We saw tomorrow for sure. Good saw.
Wish I was surprised by this turn of events, I really do. This is just another line on a page, in a book writ only of atrocities against the Karui people. I fear this will not be some aberrant event, but is...
Yes?
Bugger me to the
Good tidings.
Greetings.
Well met.
Yes? You needn't fret. The Dark Ember is still safely in my possession, and will remain so until our final confrontation with Kitava. That carnivorous blasphemy will fall like a log cut from the darkest of forests, and we shall watch him burn, as Oriath and the rest of this world breathes a sigh of relief. Lily Roth is a noble... how do you say it? Scallywag? I have witnessed the rise and fall of many great men and women over the eons, and Lily is well on her way to being amongst the very best of them. I suspect one day her name shall be sung in salty taverns the world around. I must remember to keep on her good side, now that she can see me. The beautiful pirate princess hunting down the great god Sin would make for a fantastic tale, I'm sure. But one I would rather have remain in the pages of fiction. Aside from my own presence, I no longer feel the vibrations of other gods. Though there may yet be more out there, for now, Rayclast can breathe a sigh of relief. However, we must turn our sights to Kitava, who still gorges himself on those poor souls trapped in Oriath. You have drunk your fill of my kind. The essence of deity courses through your veins, waiting to be expunged upon a chosen victim. We can only hope it will be strength enough to face that demoniac of a god. Goodbye.
Greetings. I believe Vailenta was not of sound mind. At night, we often heard her cry out in sleep, fearing unseen things. I wanted to toss her out on the streets, let the beasts of this fallen city tend to her madness. But Bannon refused to leave behind one of his own. Would that he had listened to me. Vailenta thought that if she gave us up to Kitava, the Ravenous One would look kindly upon her. Well, look upon her he did. In another life, perhaps Lily and I would have sailed the oceans together. I enjoy her presence and the conversation she brings. She has a call for adventure, coupled with a kind of optimism I rarely see. I don't quite enjoy Whalem as much as I do his granddaughter, but Lily favors him, and so I will too, unless he does something truly horrid that forces me to revoke my opinion. A dark angel on your shoulder, perhaps? In another time, the presence of this god would trouble me, perhaps even frighten me. But in these days, I cannot afford the sensation of surprise. If he's helped you this far, as you say, then one might expect he will help you all the way to the bitter end, and that is good enough for me. Kitava's appetite has grown bigger than even his devotees had expected. His hunger moves faster now than his followers can keep up. I suppose the canals were the perfect answer to their problem, really. They converted them into one giant feeding trough to bring food to his mouth at a speedier rate. Before their god rose from the depths, Utula and his cultists had direction. They wished to see Kitava free to stage his horrifying banquet. I was foolish enough to believe these theological mumblings as symbols for Karui freedom. Now that their prophecies have come to fruition, the cultists have lost their minds. It's hard enough to believe the end times of your chosen religion will ever happen, let alone... I see your eyes.
You there! Exile! I am in need of your services once more. Help me! Phew.
I would thank God for you, my friend, if that weren't too on the nose. I felt for sure that this time it was my turn to depart our world. Kitava's cultists surrounded Lani and I a while back. We split up and I led a distraction so she could make best her escape. Funny, I really should have considered my own plan for evasion once I'd allowed her hers. In any case, it is good to see you again, Exile. Let us talk.
A fine day for exploring.
Hello.
Ah, good to see you made it back. You look at me with suspicious eyes. Yes, I know you have your apprehensions about me, and my new indwelling spirit. But if it helps a little, I feel innocence stirring inside me. Awakening with... If you are to go wandering the city in its current state, be careful where you step. Kitava's cultists are constantly on the prowl, actively seeking food for their god. What's worse, the passage to Kitava's feast is blocked off by 2 large black gates. We call them Kitava's horns, and they are utterly impenetrable to the motions of man. There is but one way in which we can reach Kitava and deprive him of his eternal meal. The Staff of Avarius lies somewhere amongst the rubble of the Chamber of Innocence. Innocence blesses your journey.
Banin is alive and well. In no small way thanks to you, I would be willing to guess. Without him being here, I would have lost my sanity or my life a long time. Now that you have returned, and we have managed to sturdy ourselves once more abreast this mighty ship, I ask of you one more favor. Find that traitor Violenta and kill her. Though I wish to see her dead as revenge for her insurrection. For freedom.
Now that the Brine King is nothing but crab meat, his sunken domain, the ancient city of Soartha, is ripe for the plundering. Your granddaddy once dedicated a good portion of his sailing life trying to hunt down the location of that monolithic city. Then, while he were otherwise indisposed, yours truly tried to follow in his gnarled footsteps, track down the teardrop, a pearl as every cell-dwelling lad or lass knows of Soartha. They call it a city, but more of a slaughterhouse than anything else. Old Salty himself ruled over the place, treating its citizens as morsels from his own personal pantry. Those who weren't devoured outright were picked to try continuous family life. We're a long time ago now. Them privateers took the teardrop, threw it in the reliquary, then took yours truly and threw me in those goddamn slave pens. Far as I can tell, they never did work out what the teardrop were for. Lucky me, I suppose. It was tough, but with the help of a few other undesirables, I managed to find me way out of them pens and into the reliquary. Made it. Now that the Brine King is nothing but crab meat. Timon?
Was a time when the ladies would be begging for a bit of old Whalem. But I ain't felt the warm caress of a woman in a long time, and it wounded me dreadful. During me time on the sea, I heard tale of Queen Edzeri and her penchant for using this land as a kind of vault for all her special shinies. Always keep your eyes on the horizon.
I'll see what I can do.
Hello.
Then it is as I feared. Kitava's strength has grown insurmountable in our absence, and his horns now deny us entry to his feeding trough. Evidently, the hungry god has grown picky about what crumbs now travel towards his burgeoning throat. It is this strength that concerns me. I have spoken with our friend Banin over there, a willful vessel of my misguided brother. I knew eventually we would need to enlist my brother's services, though I had hoped we need not do so this soon. Yet, it seems that we have no other choice. We must invoke my dormant brother, slumbering within Banin's frame. Before we proceed, I feel I must confide something in you. Bannon wishes me not to speak of it, as he is willing for the sacrifice. However, I feel you should know. Once we invoke innocence, once we dredge him up from his cocoon inside the soul of Bannon, the man shall cease to be. Only the god shall remain. Do you understand what I say, Exile? If we take this path, Bannon, remember, humanity needs us.
I'll see what I can do for you. While they had me trapped, I heard those cultists' mad gibberings. Their words were akin to that of the Ray-classed cannibals. Nonsensical sentences, accompanied by the most unsettling of cackles. As I'm sure you've noticed, that damnable god Kitava no longer resides on the rooftops, as last you were here. No. The monster has acclimatized himself to Theopolis. He has set up quite the banqueting table for himself. It appears he believes he has a lot of consumption to catch up on. Best I can tell, his new residence lies through the ravaged Oriath Square and past the canals, now the feeding trough. I wouldn't blame you for being curious about the god now dwelling within me. In truth, I'm honored to have been chosen to be Innocence's vessel. You may hear this and think I sound like a pious Templar fool, but it is hard to remain an unbeliever when the gods walk around you, and indeed one sleeps inside you. No need to fear, however. Our poor purity god surely regrets the actions of his past. I can't see him, but I can. The Chamber of Innocence is exactly where you left it, though cultists and vandals may have had their way with it since last you visited. Innocence himself no longer cares for the place. In fact, I feel a pained revulsion for it, hence why I cannot go myself. But I'm certain you are more than capable of forging a path through that broken temple. Back when the cultists took control of the city, the very ground itself shook, as if pained by some dark abomination. The gnarled horns of Kitava erupted from the earth like spiral. Don't ever give up.
It's time to end this.